Welcome to Beyond Hormones, the Business of Wellness, the podcast for hormone and functional medicine providers who want a thriving, predictably profitable practice and maybe a little less stress along the way. Hi, I'm your host, Jody Lane, and I've worked with lots of clinics in marketing, sales, and business development, and I have seen what works and what doesn't. And here's what I believe. Hormone and wellness care should be available to everyone who wants it. And while providers know the medicine, many struggle with the business side of their cash practice. And that's where I come in. See, this podcast is here to share real strategies, real stories, things you can implement in your practice right away. So I am so glad you're here. Come on, let's go. All right. Today, I want to talk to you about something that I wish more clinic owners understood. It's timing your tasks, and specifically about when to ask for referrals and reviews from your patients. Because as I mentioned, the best way to get the worst results is to never ask or ask at the wrong time, when the patient isn't ready, when they're not feeling the win yet, or they just haven't emotionally connected to the experience yet. Let's spend a moment here breaking all this down together. You want to ask for the review or referral when their emotional peak is highest. Don't do it when you just remember, or not just when your software prompts it, although if your software prompts it, you get a gold star. You want to do it when their belief and excitement is the highest. Look, at the end of the day, I want you to ask for referrals and reviews all the time, even when you feel uncomfortable or feel like you're doing it too often, because that's how I know you're doing it enough. But asking someone to do you a favor when they're feeling all the good feels is the right choice, because emotionally, people do business and refer business at moments of gratitude, relief, pride, and progress. Hey listeners, whether this is your first episode of Beyond Hormones or your 50th, I hope you can tell by now how much I love working in the hormone industry and sharing my tips, experience, and guest stories to help you succeed. Your success is truly my personal joy. So if you don't mind, I want to take a quick moment to share a product of ours that I know will truly help many of you build the clinic you have been dreaming of. It's called Practice Automation System. Now, here's something that most of the clinics I've spoken with that have scaled past 7 figures have quietly figured out. Most marketing doesn't fail trying to get leads. It fails after you've already reached them. According to studies, up to 87% of people don't pick up unknown calls anymore. Isn't that crazy? But deep down, I bet you realize it's true. I know I don't answer unknown phone calls, do you? So that means even if your front desk is being incredible and calling them as soon as they come in, there's a good chance they're not going to reach them. And if that's all you try, your marketing dollars just vanished. Not because your advertising didn't produce, it's because your message didn't get through. The Practice Automation System is what we built so that doesn't happen. To reach someone these days, you need to nurture them. They used to say it took 5 to 7 touches to reach someone. Now it can be as high as 20, 30, or even more. We help you text them within 5 minutes, nurture them automatically for weeks and months. The pipeline keeps moving even when your front desk is busy. I spent years running and growing a hormone clinic in Orlando where we grew to over 1,000 patients, 4 providers, and 23 staff members. So we know this works. You know why? Because we used it ourselves well before we turned this into a product. We're not guessing what hormone patients need because we experienced it. To find out if Practice Automation System is the solution you've been looking for, go to acceleratedmedicalpractices.com/automation. That's acceleratedmedicalpractices.com/automation. All right, let's get back to the show. So I want you to think about your patient journey for a second. If you ask someone for a review right after they sign up for therapy, yeah, they're probably excited, but they haven't experienced the transformation yet. They don't own the story. Same thing goes for referrals. If you ask someone to send a friend after their first appointment, they don't really have a story to tell yet. You might get someone on occasion because their friend was already looking for a new hormone clinic, but you haven't created a raving fan because there's nothing really there to rave about yet. Let me give you a real example. I worked with a provider who was asking for reviews at their first consultation. I know it made sense to them, but you know what happened? They would get reviews once in a blue moon. We had them shift that ask to the 6 to 8 week first follow up right after the patient was in talking about better energy, better mood, better sleep, clearer thinking. Reviews and referrals started coming in because we moved the ask into the moment where the patient owned the win. That's the magic. When the patient feels something real, when they're seeing results, when their spouse is noticing and they're down a belt notch, that's when you ask. Because you're not just telling them what is possible, they're living that possibility. And when you time it right, the ask doesn't feel like a burden or a favor. It sounds more like a celebration. Hey, I'm so proud of the work you're doing. If you're willing, can you share your experience? It would really help someone who's feeling the way you did a couple of months ago. Can you feel the difference? We're not trying to pressure, we're empowering. And let me add this one more layer because this part is important. Give patient ownership of their journey. Instead of praising the medication alone or yourself, praise the patient. Because when patients feel responsible for their success, they're more likely to share it. That gives them their pride and that leads to advocacy. Look, people don't brag about programs they joined. No, they brag about results they earned from their programs. So here's what I want you to do to turn today's episode from I heard a really great podcast to a few actionable steps that you can use to get more referrals and reviews. Number one, map the emotional highs of your patient journey. Number two, script what you're going to say so that way you don't feel awkward. And number three, prepare with a document that explains exactly what you want your client to do. I do this for my clients all the time. And you know what? If you want what I do for them, just email me at jody@acceleratedmedicalpractices.com. I didn't create it as a download, but I'm happy to send it to you if you need it. Look, when patients feel seen, when they feel successful, when they own their own transformation, they don't just say thank you. They want to tell everyone. Now, if you found this helpful, I'm going to ask you for a favor. Can you share this with a provider who's trying to grow their clinic right now? Because they're serving their patients and they may not be pushing their sales. Or actually, could you also go ahead and write me a review? Now, you know that when you write a review for podcasts, it helps the algorithm help other people who would be interested in the content find it. So you'd be doing a great service for a provider just like you who is trying to grow their practice, lower their marketing budget, and really serve their patients well. Thank you so much for spending these 5 minutes with me. And I hope that you walked away with some real actionable golden nuggets that you can implement into your practice this week to start earning some new patients. Thank you for listening to Beyond Hormones, the business of wellness. I hope that you're walking away with fresh ideas and real strategies you can use to grow your practice with profit and purpose. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow the show so you never miss a conversation. And if something you heard today resonated with you, do me a favor, share this episode with a friend or a colleague. It's one of the best ways you can support the show, and it might be exactly what they need to hear right now. If you want even more tools and support, go ahead and head over to acceleratedmedicalpractices.com. Until next time, keep doing the work that matters. Your patients need you, and I am cheering you along every step of the way.